It's pillar time. So, does anybody actually like the pillars? Raise your hand if you actually like the fucking pillars. That looks too much like it's going to kill me. Like, raise your dirty, grubby little hand. I know all one of you exist. Don't worry, I was not expecting to do anything other than die. Oh, come on, there's... Like I said... Yeah. This place is gonna be a graveyard by the end of all this. You know, we could possibly go to the jungle pylon. We'll probably have to start going to the jungle pylon once they kill our NPCs at this one. They're going to in very, very short order. Do we have a campfire? Oh, it's in the friggin' Terraria, isn't it? No, it's not. Where is our campfire? Oh no. It is in the Terraria. We could go get it. Let's have a little more regen while we're at base. Mine up some chlorophyte to afford the devilly expensive reforging. Now we do have all of the buff potions we've ever found still that would be relevant to a boss fight. So we have to question how we're going to use them. Obviously against Moonlord, but I feel like this attempt is... First few attempts, honestly, are probably going to be a forlorn hope sort of deal. Where does our party girl live? want to try this out. Oh my god, it's 71 gold. Hmm. Okay, we can sell some stuff. We're gonna need to too. I guess there is theoretically a world in which we equip ninja pants. Not that I think we're actually going to run into that situation. But we could change our accessories a bit. Probably don't need our Dune Rider boots, or our... maybe not our rocket boots, though our flight time would suffer for it. It's just we don't have anything particularly good to put in those slots. Like, guess we could use... God, a Band of Regen might actually be up there. Oh, you know what? Say we don't have anything good, but we have a Moon Charm. That might not be too bad. I'll put it over the cross necklace. That does actually give you some melee sets. Oh, that'll actually get in. What don't we need? Ton of philo stones, probably. We don't need a magma stone. Don't need a magma stone. Don't need a magma stone. You have so many magma stones. Warding Warm Scarf. We can probably treat ourselves to regular healing potions for pillars. You don't need life crystals. Get out! Don't need a ton of rubies. Don't need copper ore. Don't need tin ore. Don't need all this gold. Don't need all this meteorite. Don't need the palladium. The orichalcum. Or the chlorophyte. Okay. I believe our goblin is the happiest. So the question is, do I want to try out the celebration or reforge? The other thing is we're gonna have to buy rockets. We want to do the celebration? The cyborg does move with the steampunker, so it's at least gonna be a little cheaper. Let's see if the celebration is any good. I've never used this in 1.4. If it sucks, it sucks. I don't think I've ever used the Moonlord drop one that was in 1.3 and earlier either. Rocket 3. Okay, it's not that expensive to buy rockets. Seeds have no value. There we have 1253. Who knows? This might be okay. Oh. Really? And the jungle pylon's not there. Okay. I guess we're walking. This is highly unfortunate. Do there any blocks on us? No. Crap. We're gonna need some actual blocks here to have a place to fight this. Now that our pylon is down. Oh yeah, we're walking. We could try reforging the celebration. I'm okay with putting something like hurtful on it. You know, I didn't ask you to break it. Breaking it is not what I wanted. Believe it or not. Like, imagine how insulting it is for you to give something to the goblin. He breaks it and he's like, okay, give me money. Or you give something to the goblin and you're like, okay, what do you have in mind? Oh, I'm just going, I don't know, I'm just gonna, tinker around with it. No! Nobody pays for someone to just tinker around with their shit. This seems bad. Yeah, I don't think this thing's very good. That is unfortunate, because I spent some money on it, but at least I know never to buy it again. Wow, it doesn't even have range. It's a casual 111 damage green slime. We got one, chat. If I got a 1-to-1 kill-to-death ratio in a first-person shooter game, I'd be very proud of myself. And that's what this was like for my character. Oh, piece of shit. But then again, I never did get past the phase in FPS games of I'm getting shot in the back non-stop. As we all know, the solar pillar is so fair and balanced. Everybody loves the balancing on the solar pillar. Absolutely nobody thinks it's just garbage. Fortunately, they overestimate my concern for my own life dramatically. Now we should actually have some room to back up. This is so bad because the enemies always spawn behind us. The ground-based ones, anyways. So we can't do the trigger two dudes from the pillar and then run away strapped. If we could, then this wouldn't be a problem. I guess we could just do a suicide run to lay a bridge. Probably have to if we actually want to get anywhere with this. It's off, slimes. Good enough. Did I say a suicide run? I meant like 10 suicide runs. I guess we could. Would it actually be better? You know, it might actually be better to go from under the trees after all. The geometry sucks, but no, it would not be. Because this would be our existence. Like, this would actually be our existence. Can you die already? Thank you. I wish I didn't put those platforms in storage. We need to get the platforms. I guess we could actually use platforms for this. We have 2,000. Guys, we laid like 10 platforms. It's a great use of our life. Still, there might actually be room for the things to spawn in front of us rather than behind us now. Actually, hold up, is our desert pylon up? It is. It's not going to be up for long. Game? I think the game might be crashing. Yeah, the game crashed to desktop. That fucking means we lost our progress on the solar pillar, by the way. That's awful. So we're probably not going to be fighting Moonlord tonight because we lost like half an hour of progress. And we also need our game audio back. Alright, no more crash, please. Swore it was gonna crash there for a moment. This is the world. No, I didn't mean to teleport to the forest. Yep. So I hope you enjoyed all of that death being in vain. I should have brought. Okay, I'm gonna go get the shiny stone. Of course, you can't hold the damn thing. You can hold the damn thing in your inventory. So why would you be able to? There's the nurse. So we're not going to be able to use the pylon anymore. Should have brought a bed is what I should have done. Okay. Not what I wanted to do. I just want to build a safety platform above the Hello Enemy's reach, so that we can just heal the shiny stone. Of course, you know, that's proving complicated because they have the ability to extend straight vertical walls. Okay. This should do the trick. And do that for gastropods. Should bring a chair too. Or, yeah, I should just go get a bed so that we can respawn there. Ah yes, the Yang Shield bits. It's true that I can't craft the Yang Shield, because, you know, my luck, really. That is just comical how little damage we deal. Alright. So how far along are we? Oh my... And we took 100 from the unicorn. How far along? Like 20% maybe? Stop being alive. Thank you. Where's our shiny? Probably like gastropods can come out now. No, 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 no. Turtle, 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 turtle. Oh, where's our stone? I would have been so mad if that bounced up into my safety box. Is this even more efficient than dying? I genuinely don't know if this is more efficient than dying. We kill like 2. Forgot this was a thing. That is a cruel joke, game. At least we can make a house. A wall. Why do I have what? I don't know how I got even wood wall. I don't think that appears naturally anywhere. I haven't used any of it, but I don't know how I have it. I don't know about stone wall either. I'm not gonna use those. We have a bed, right? Bed. But I still want a chair, because the chair doesn't fast forward time. Actually, I'm not sure what the bed does when you have pillars active. I'll bring both, though. I'll go up on the chair, Gracie? Get up there, girl. Such a good-looking dog. Such a good-looking dog. And that's about it, I think. I suppose I could actually use a door so that the gastropods and whatnot can't get at me. Oh no. I was not expecting to have this pursuing me when I went up to the solar pillar. Oh, we're healed. Oh, does Shiny Stone not stack with the chair? Okay, we're about halfway done. Okay, no, it definitely affects Chair. Look at that life regen, chat. Now the question is, can you... I wonder if you could kill Moonlord while sitting down. Or does taking damage cancel the bonus? It wouldn't surprise me if taking damage canceled it. I don't know if I set my spawn point. Yeah, I have no idea if I set my spawn point. There we go, okay. Now I have. Still not even halfway there. I love all of these enemies that you're not supposed to jump over. You know, I got my hopes up that that was a solar pillar enemy banner. It is not. It is a green slime banner. Doesn't help us in the slightest, really. You can put it down right here. Pretty, at least. Not really, but... You know what? Thought that counts. And we still have the Nebula Pillar to do. That unicorn is very confused. You're not a solar pillar enemy. I wish you were. It'd be a lot easier if unicorns were solar pillar enemies. But no, they are not. Okay. We are slowly getting through this stuff. Oh, how much are we on right now? About 2/3, I would guess? Yeah. That is a decent guess. Ah yes, I love healing for less than half the damage I was dealt. Granted, it is not with an on-tier healing potion, but... just... they still two-shot me. Or close to. Did I see 100-something pixie dust? Little busy to be checking right now. Yeah, 174. I don't know how much that sells for, but it's probably going to be worth at least a couple gold. Also, the accessories we get from them. No. Oh, no, 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 okay. I want the prismatic lace wing, but... Wraiths can still get at us. Oh, we're healed already? Wow, that was quick. We're almost through. And then we have how many more pillars? You already played Toad and my gastropods. Hey, there is actually a solar polar on enemy banner. Alright. Oh, come on. Hate these cast robots so much. But they're just part of our reality now. Also, we got a goldfish kite, apparently. And 4 megaphones. Suppose we have actually killed a lot of pixies at this point. How much more? Barely anything. It's probably less than 10 kills at this point. I think that's it, actually. We should get a warrior emblem. I think we have one, because we're primarily using the possessed hatchet right now. Those shields down. Fuck, where the hell? Okay, it's there. I was not low HP at all there. Oh well. We can let the Nimbus Rod do its work. Fragments are useful because I'm going to be allowing myself to make Moonlord sigils. What next? It's 1:37. Let's go handle the Nebular Pillar next. I'm afraid if we do the Stardust Pillar, it will go down too quickly, and let's see how fast the Nebular Pillar dies. Shit, where's our fucking blocks? Oh, we made like 3 blocks worth of progress. Shit, where are we going? This one will not be quite so bad as the last one. This is the second worst pillar. As opposed to the worst pillar. And these enemies are 90% of the reason this is the second worst pillar. And as it turns out, with the Possessed Hatchet as our primary weapon, we have little to no recourse against those. That's gonna be a problem. Guess we can try using Celebration. I don't appreciate the fact that that was a mini-boss. Can some pillar enemies please show up? Thank you. You're kidding me. Really? Those can go through walls? I didn't think they could. We actually can't kill that guy. Yeah, we actually have no good way of dealing with this fucking asshole. By the way, that's a mech. No, that's actually a chest. Huh. And here I was, thinking that this weapon might be decent on paper. It might be, but it's not good in practice. But in fairness, I don't have a proper setup for it. But I'm also using the possessed hatchet, which is not doing miserably, and I don't have a proper setup for that. The only reason I'm using the celebration here is because... Is it even better at killing the floaters? No. 148. I don't think we're getting to Moon Lord. It sucks it's been like 2 hours killing 2 pillars, but Solar Pillar was kind of a dick. I would go so far as to say, outside of bosses, that nebula floaters are the single most annoying enemy in the game. Single most difficult, perhaps. The Solar Pillar has a lot of bullshit, whereas Nebula Pillar only has the floaters that are piles of garbage. give me a ton of brain sucklers instead of nebula floaters. They're nice and easy to kill. Hello, B. What tends to be the bottleneck in Solo Master? Honestly, I would say that if we exclude the non-mandatory bosses, which are Empress of Light, Queen Slime, Duke Fishron, probably Moonlord is the hardest, but the mech bosses have second place. Especially in this playthrough. You would think a Stormbow would get you the win easily against Destroyer at least. It did not. Not when you really don't have anything else going for you. I especially suck at the twins. Though in fairness, I actually might have figured out Retinazer Phase 2 this time if I can enact that in the future. Taking a little bit of the Toho knowledge in, which honestly has not entirely been helpful with Terraria, because looking for gaps is sometimes unhealthy instead of just running from it. Oh yeah, Destroyer Master is awful because you shoot the Destroyer and you hit it 1,000,000 times, and then there's an absolute ton of probes that, on Master Mode, actually deal damage. That's what I think made it so much harder than Expert Mode, or makes it so much harder than Expert Mode Destroyer. Ah. Nice. Dying to the Nebula Pillar. I don't think there is anyone in the world who... Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone in the world more than tolerates the pillars in Terraria. I've considered cheesing Fishron. You are braver than I am with Fishron. See, I am one of those people who pretends Duke Fishron is a post-Moonlord boss. And a pretty damn hard one at that. Ugh. I fucking hate floaters, by the way. They are the... Nebula floaters are the single worst. That mentality for Empress. I feel like it's easy to know Empress in and out. I don't. Oh. Huh. That was quite a precise jump for that turtle. Get out of here. This is my bedroom. where did I put my... Oh, there's my moon charm. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a turtle get into a 3-block wide gap in the air before. They're evolving. I am so excited for 1.4.4, bringing back non-accessories that have no, outward appearance being able to go in vanity slots. That's gonna be... I miss that. There's not a lot of ones that are actually all that useful to carry around, but like, if you're the type of person who goes for diving gear and the shiny stone for dealing with the pillars, yeah, I have done, not Master, I've done Master Hardcore and I died to Destroyer. That's the farthest I've ever been. I can only imagine doing Solar Pillar. Yeah. Solar Pillar, not your friend. Very much not your friend. Oh, I'm out of healing potions. I was wondering what the problem was, and why there was no HP coming out of my H button. I really burned through all of the regular healing potions, eh? Suppose we can get more fairly easily, because if we really need to, we can kill Wall of Flesh, but... How close are we to being done with the Nebular Pillar? Out of curiosity? It might be worth mirroring back and getting healing potions. It's a bit of a long way to go. 1.4.4, I just hope it doesn't turn into 1.5. I'd be okay if we got an actual 1.5. But I actually want to play this everything seed. Yeah, it's okay. Death is a part of life. I am very familiar with losing in games. I spend the vast majority of my time doing it. Nurse is still missing in action. Okay. Also, we don't have a shiny stone. We'll finish up the Nebula Pillar tonight, but unfortunately I don't think I have time for Moon Lord. I spent too much time playing with the girls. Boss Summoners are 1. Keys of Light were 1 at the beginning of hard mode, but I'm not allowing myself to craft mech boss summons after the mech boss has died. What else? Magic storage, obviously. This combo rod here. So it's a modded tool, and it's like... It is an all-in-one building tool, pretty much. I'll show you some of its features. So, paint, wall, tile, wire, bucket. We aren't using the bucket because that would have to be crafted, but everything else is fair game. And also an automatic hell bridge builder, because I spent like a while trying to build it with regular dynamite. And it was awful, because you need sticky dynamite to get at stuff to have an adequate ceiling. In fact, I was slightly unhappy with that as an exception, because it was way smoother than it would otherwise have been. But the alternative was, like, actual hours of hell. Similarly, the mech bosses, well, they can show up without crafting summons. And the thing is that you'd have to wait so long. And that's also the reason that, while I allowed myself to craft the summons, they can't respawn, so no more. Why not make it with obsidian platforms? I don't know if the automatic builder I use for it would work. The thing is that it was not the lava that was the issue. The issue was the ceiling of hell being low, and all of the real estate that they've erected down there to accommodate the damned that diluted most of the furniture I'm using from. Yeah, I single-handedly destroyed the real estate market in hell. Yeah, they do also drop from mobs at a circa 1 in 2,000 rate, which is a lot longer than 48 minutes, which is the average time, I think. Where did I get that? It was 30% every night or something. Actually, I don't remember. It was something silly, though. How long I calculated I'd have to wait for all mech bosses if I killed them first try. Like, it would have been hours of just waiting, and that doesn't make for good content, and the thing is, if I just don't stream it, then I'm not streaming anything for Terraria, and if I stream myself waiting, not good content, and if I go online when I get one spawn, and then die, I'm like, tricked ya! Now we're waiting together, except you get a little bit of action at the beginning. Because I don't know if I'm good at it, or like, my idea of what's entertaining and what's good content is right, but I do really care about doing it, and to the point where I don't upload streams that absolutely nothing happens onto YouTube. Like, if it's just a ton of fishing, grinding, it's more time-lapse content. For instance, if a stream is just a ton of failed Toho attempts, I'm probably not gonna put it up. We're almost through the nebular pillar. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do Moonlord tonight, unfortunately. Because this is probably going to take another few minutes at least, and it is 2:09 a.m. Because my sleep schedule, it's weird, because I am naturally just, like, hyper nocturnal. Like, it is not streaming that has driven me to be nocturnal. $3:09 a.m. or p.m. It's only getting me to watch my repeated failed destroyer fight. Yeah, exactly. Also, our spawn point is not in the jungle. We're not at the nebular pillar. And Toho is worse than that for failure, because you're not done in a minute. Even if you die on stage 2, like, that's still longer than dying to Destroyer, because Destroyer kills you instantly if you're going to get killed at all. Oh. Oh my god. You know, I didn't account for that. I didn't know those lasted that long. Like, I walked to the jungle, and the Nebula Spear was still there. Also, that's Abigail's flower. Useless. And that's a gold squirrel. Less useless. Yep, Toho is bullet hell. It's a surprisingly fun game, to be honest. Occasionally frustrating, but if it's your thing, and it's kinda my thing, not really, but it's hard to describe. You would think that being bad would discourage me. It doesn't. But I just randomly decided that I'd do it as a one-off that I would laugh about later. Like, I'm not gonna play this again, but no. Instead it became, like, kind of the third game of the stream. Because I originally would do... Toho is easier than Empress of Light Daytime, I would say. Because you have a screen clear. You die in one hit, but you have many lives. Not many, but a fair chunk of them. And you have several screen clears per life. Also, the controls are way tighter than Terraria. The other thing to know about it is that if it looks terrifying, and remember that your hitbox is a lot smaller than the sprite of your character, and a lot of the bullets have hitboxes that are not actually the entire bullet. Have I beaten EOL Day? No, actually. It's... maybe because I seldom play Summoner, but it's just never caught my fancy as a thing that I want to devote probably a few hours of my life to, because I'm pretty darn bad at Empress of Light. And I don't know. It's similar to making the Zenith, like, mostly for bragging rights. Come to think, I'm not sure I've killed the Empress of Light more than... I think I've killed her like 5 times in my life. Now granted, that is... all of those times were before Toho became a thing. But... this is a very different game. Like... Fargo's never appealed to me, but it appeals to me... I don't know. I don't know why there's no achievement for killing the Dungeon Guardian or EOL Day. It's certainly achievement worthy. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, I was talking about Terraria and Fargo's. So, what I've learned is that Terraria is a great game, but it is a really bad basis to build a bullet hell. So Fargo's has never really appealed to me, and it really doesn't appeal to me now. That was fast. At least Zenith plus Rod of Discord. Yeah, probably. And Rod of Discord is actually a reasonable thing to farm nowadays. Oh my god. Way to go, don't set your spawn. Remember when, you couldn't use pylons during the pillars? Dear God. Like, that was terrible. That was actually terrible. You're probably wondering why are all those jungle houses uninhabited. Because I actually built several jungle houses. How do you farm the rod? I mean, literally, it's not, it's just, you get a mob grinder and you wait for the thing to drop it. What I meant is that it's only like, what? I want to say 1 in 400 now? 1 in 2,000 or 2,500? Actually, I think it might have been 1 in 5,000. I never got one. I have played a large amount of Calamity where you can just make one, but I never got one, you know, the honest way when it was absurdly rare. Because hours of my time that could be spent elsewhere. Yeah, I'm sorry if I gave you help for some highly specific strategies for getting a rod of discord. "100 brain sucklers. Party time's over." I need to set my spawn. As for why, I was thinking about making a mob grinder for this. And maybe using it to get hallowed mimics. The issue I had, can't craft buckets. And can't use sticky dynamite. That would make things completely awful. Okay, the pillar's up. My accent is tripping you out a bit. I am American. I am from Illinois, so I don't know if I don't notice my accent. I don't notice if people near me have an accent or the same accent. Because I think I might just have a strange way of speaking as well. Similar to how you speak, but I say some words differently. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I was about to say I've never had anyone really say I have an accent before. But A, I haven't been outside the US in my entire life. B, and I've spent the vast majority of my life in Chicago. The only person I've ever had say I have an accent is like, but I've gotten wet. In fact, I don't think that person even said I had an accent, but I had someone who was coming to my school from China say he had trouble understanding me. And I don't know if that was maybe just him having a hard time with English in general, but might have been. Nah, that's whack. Alright. So I really do have nothing much to do right now unless I want to get on with killing the Stardust Pillar, which is not an endeavor for tonight. You speak clearly and it's not really an accent, more just how you pronounce a certain T sound. You know, it is a Chicago stereotype that we say "da Bears," even though I don't really watch sport, and I say "the Bears." That's... I don't think my T's sound like D's. I hope not. It's not something you think about, though, because how you talk is how you talk, and if it is a local thing, everyone talks like you. You don't drop T's. I wish I could get the Witch's Broom for Moonlord. The Witch's Broom is really nice. But we're not gonna be getting a Witch's Broom, because we can't make a Pumpkin Moon summon. Like, I really came to appreciate how nice the broom was when before I started streaming, did mounts only, and the broom was amazing. Like, gone with a break in the middle. Yeah. American... I feel like that's a southern thing. Southerners... But I haven't talked to that many southerners. And they're all so much nicer, like... At least, like, the service folk were. My family used to take vacations down to visit Florida every year when I was a kid. And it was surprising how universally nice Southern waitstaff. Yeah, I've mostly experienced Florida, which is its own thing because tourism. But we would pass through multiple states because we'd drive, and so we'd have to stop for breakfast and dinner, and so I have, like, a decent sample size. And the service was never anything except extremely nice. And then Florida is kind of just its own thing. It was honestly not that different from Illinois. Like, probably just because it's more of a general population place. And I remember I got to visit a few places just above New York to Florida without stopping. Goodness, that's a long drive. I got to experience Florida as a kid before a lot of the beaches got, commercialized. Because we'd visit my gram down there. And it was awesome. And then sort of the area got hotelified and touristified, and it ceased to be a nice small town. The snow melted as we got southern. Yeah, that... We would always go in the summer, which is a strange time to visit Florida. You'd think the appeal would be in the winter, but no. We'd go in the summer, and my gram You know, the other really unfortunate thing that happened to my grandmother is she used to have a really nice house with a big pool in the back and actually had a super nice clock collection that was really fun to look at as a kid. But then she got scammed by people who pretended to be her friend and the owners of a small business and got her to invest a lot of money. Here, Florida summer, gotta be 35 plus degrees. 90 plus, I mean. 35 degrees is, let's see, Celsius is 9 over 5 times Celsius, so 63 plus 30. Yeah! That's what, 90? 95 or something? Mental math is 35 plus 30. I believe it's 95. But yeah, so these scammers, at least they did get several months in, not several months, several years in prison. But she lost her house, she had to sell it, and got a new place, which she still has, to the best of my knowledge, but it's not nearly as nice, because it's just kind of a small place. Keep your AC at 18. For no real reason, I tend to keep the place at 70. 70 exactly. I don't know what it is, it's just because it's a round number, and it's... If you ask me what the weather... To give a weather for every day, it'd be 70 degrees. 18's about 65. Yeah. Because the only thing you lose by having it always be 70 degrees out is swimming, which I suppose is a big loss, but the dangle pool by me, the one that I would go swim in during the summer, is shut down due to a lack of lifeguards. And I was sad, because I wanted to swim more this summer. Like, it would be a really good afternoon of exercise to take my bike down to the pool, go swimming, and then take my bike home, because park with the pool anyways is a little ways away. But no. So I do like to take my bike out. I probably ride about 25 miles a week, weather permitting. And I go to... The forest is a little far away, but I'll try to find a place, usually the park, the nearest big public park, where I can actually, pedal pretty forcefully, because you can't do that out on the street. Miles and degrees. I know. We Americans are raised to this disgusting standard. It would be for the good of the world if we were to kick the imperial system, but I can't mentally convert miles to kilometers the way I can convert degrees to Celsius. Like, I know... Like, I have an idea of what a Celsius temperature is. But degrees, I don't have any real, or not degrees, kilometers. I think it's... Is it... It's 1.6 or so one way or the other, if I'm not mistaken. I usually take shorter rides, but more often, and I do try to concentrate it either at the park to go quickly or at the nearest hill to go uphill. I'd love to go to the forest more often, but it's a little too much of a drive. But you know, that is maybe one of these days, but for now I think I should go get to bed. I used to go nearly every day, but I'm a student in engineering right now and I'm degen from burnout. Yeah, that definitely happens as a student. I know the feeling because I found out that, like, a ton of higher education was just not for me, and so I do my thing and just exist. Like, you think you're gonna get out of college and get your dream job leaving high school, and you're not. And they do a real, at least at my high school, they did a real shit job of telling you that. And it didn't help that I had smart kid syndrome where I didn't have to work in high school. But, you know, it is almost 2:30 and I've treated YouTube to about, like, 15 minutes of just talking. So I think I'm gonna go get ready for bed. I hope you have a great evening. You chose a degree of actual good internships built in. That's nice. But I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I will hopefully see you later. So yeah. Have a good one. Probably tomorrow for Moonlord. And yeah.